Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I want to give you guys the rundown on the dual class arena so you can get a bit more information, you can kind of see what's going on, and I've recently learned a few things that have led to some pretty decent results. So first off, when you're going into the draft mode, you really need to understand your opponents. So there are two superpower opponents out there, and you need to be one of them, basically. There's the very powerful control deck, but if you have a very powerful control deck, you are going to lose a lot to Death Knight control decks. So if you get a Death Knight card, hero card, pretty early on in the draft, you can go down that path. But if you don't, you should try to put some finisher cards in your deck. If you're playing a control deck with no direct damage and no hero cards, you are not going to be pleased with your results most of the time. And that is very important because I'll explain how the offering systems work right now. So the other side is because a lot of the control decks are really powerful, because a lot of the control decks rely on hero cards, the main way to combat that is to rush them down and push them out of the game. So if you want to play a pretty aggressive deck, that will generally work. And again, what do aggressive decks like? They like cards that do direct damage. So direct damage cards are really, really good. Board declares of direct damage are really good. Efficient removal is really good. And there is a lot of it. The dynamic in Arena is different. And it's different because the classes are combined, but the neutral cards are not doubled. So this is the easiest thing to explain with legendaries. So, if you're playing normal arena, single class arena, you are going to have, I don't know how many, but let's just say, for example, 40 neutral legendaries and 5 class legendaries. And the class legendaries have like an occurrence boost several times. So, it's that, right? But when you combine two classes, you still have those 40 neutral legendaries. You have the 5 of one class legendaries with an offering bonus. You have the 5 other class legendaries with an offering bonus. So basically what this means is class cards are showing up about twice as much. And class cards are the powerful cards. They are the removal cards. They are the direct damage cards. So that is pretty important to know. That is why you're facing almost, not exactly, but almost twice as many hero cards in Arena. That's probably the stupidest thing in this Arena thing. I don't really understand that. One of my main frustrations in the original, before the dual class Arena, was hero cards. It's just totally unfair. Now there's twice as many of them, and there's enough that you actually need to play around them because they are game winning. You can't really play a control deck unless you get crazy lucky and beat other control decks if you don't have a hero card, because they will have a hero card and you will lose because they have a hero card and you don't have a hero card. So that's a little bit problematic, but that extends to the other parts of the game, which is why you're seeing these games where your opponent plays a 2-drop, you play a 2-drop, and every single turn of the game after that, your minion is removed by a spell, and their 2-drop hits you for like 25 damage, and then bam, fireball ends the game. That happens so much. It's very difficult for me to understand the flow of the game, because the old control style was, you remove a few things, you maybe give up the early game a little bit, and then, you play like a really powerful 5-drop or a really powerful 6-drop with taunt, and typically it holds off the board and lets you recover on the board. That doesn't work anymore. They have twice as much removal options right now. Almost twice as much. So, betting that your 5-drop will finally stick and you'll recover on the board, that is a crap bet right now. So, a lot of these games kind of play themselves a little bit, and that's why the drafting session is really important. And Hearth Arena came in with a little bit of advice. This is one of the tweets that I retweeted. 400,000 match data. The first class pick. So, the first class dictates half of your cards, and sometimes it'll direct your discovery options. but your second class dictates the hero power. So Priest has really good cards, but a really shit hero power. Druid has really good cards and a pretty mediocre hero power. Paladin the same. You're seeing kind of that trend. You see like Warlock all the way at the bottom, right? Well, Warlock is actually a very good class in Arena. It's because of the hero power. So you want to kind of follow this list because this is just data. So it will lead you to better results on average. And in my opinion, from what I have seen, you want to focus the second one on a powerful hero power class. So you're looking at Rogue, you're looking at Mage, you are looking at Warlock. I think those are the big three. After that, Druid is okay. Just because the Druid cards are good, there's a lot of direct removal, direct damage cards in Druid, and there's a lot of cards in Druid that combo very well with other classes. It's pretty important. You know, there's a bit of a learning process that we are all going to experience with so much new stuff in a temporary event. I'm really glad that they're doing this type of thing, that all of it is coming together all at once and we're all essentially noobs to some degree. That's great. Hero cards, not great. And I think that killed a lot of the fun for me. But I've since learned how to play around them a little bit. Take that advice pretty seriously. I know you'll be really tempted to play a control deck because you'll go like, oh, Priest, oh, Mage, wow, I got a Blizzard, I got a Flame Strike, I got a Holy Nova, I got a Shadow or Death. Yeah, you're going to have all those things, but you're going to play against someone else who also has all those things because, again, you're twice as likely to get class cards right now. Almost twice as likely. And they're going to have Frostless Jaina, and you're just straight up going to lose. No chance. If they draw their hero card in a fairly stabilized board state or a fairly even board state, you lose. End of story. So be prepared for that. You need those direct damage cards. Pick them more than you might think they're worth because they're actually worth a lot. The only way that you can beat these hero card players is by just burning them down and ramping up the tempo and leveraging your life total. And that can only happen if you have a lot of burn cards or if you're playing an aggressive deck. But if you're blessed by RNGs and happen to be one of the holders of the hero cards, do your best to stay alive, get those heals, and play the opposite of that game. So that's my advice. I'm sure there's a lot of other details that I've missed in this guide, but I think I got the fundamentals down, and with that, I imagine you'll do a little bit better in Arena, and you guys can use possibly this video to share some of your ideas on how you've done well and what you think works. And I'm pretty curious to see. It's a temporary event, but I'm hoping that these temporary events work out and they come back kind of like brawls do. So some of the experience you might gain here will translate into upcoming events. Hopefully, that's my idea. It seems a lot of people are playing Arena right now, and honestly, with the hero cards, it's not even like close to perfect. So we'll see. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoy my thoughts. I'll see you guys tomorrow.